So I'm going to fill you in on the story that of what happened a little while ago. I'm going to make sure this is recording first because earlier it did not. Okay. So I had what I believe to be a skinwalker encounter, or some sort of cryptid encounter. To recap, earlier tonight I saw a large hairy creature leaned up against someone's barn, just frozen. When we came back, it was gone. Fast forward to 3:15 a.m. I had heard all kinds of sounds throughout the night, all around the property. Howling in the hills, screaming sounds in the hills that Sasquatches usually make. Then I hear grunts and growls in our yard. So I proceed to just check things out. Something told me not to go any further, so I said, peace, I'm not going to go any further. They didn't feel negative. I didn't get the negative sense. I said, in the name of the Lord, I said everything, and I hear a loud sound behind me of something smacking. It sounds like rocks clanking in the light. I turn to that, and that's when I hear a stick break down in the yard. Fast forward to 3:15 a.m. I take the dog out, and none of the dogs even bother with these things tonight. And I had an encounter with a very large wolf creature. And I would have thought maybe it's a wolf had it not been so large. And the way it maneuvered, you knew it was not a wolf. Now, this is someone else's capture, obviously. I really, honestly, this is exactly the shape it was moving to when I saw it. And this, honest to the Lord, what I witnessed is true. I wish, it bothers me to this point that I didn't get my phone out of my pocket and record. But the first thing on my mind was just paying attention to my surroundings. Grabbing the phone was actually second nature. It wasn't even, second thought, the last thought, to be honest, not second nature. That's the wrong terminology. And I saw this large timber wolf looking thing, and it just suddenly appeared from the pines, not making any noise as it was gliding across the road, just limping, just maneuvering back and forth, and then was looking around back and forth, not paying any mind to me. And right before it had appeared, I heard a Native American Indian voice in my head state, "You wanted? I'm here." Telepathically. And then it said my name. Well, at that point I'm thinking, okay, maybe I should pay attention. So I lean on the side of the truck, and this is before the creature appeared. I lean on the side of the truck, and I'm looking around, and 30 seconds to 45 seconds later, there's this large timber wolf looking creature. And it starts limping, just galloping from the pine trees, the two pine trees on the left of this driveway, into the road, making no noise. Quiet as can be. And there it is right in the driveway, right in front of me, looking to the left and then looking in front of itself. And then it's just grayish, whitish, black. And very furry. Very hairy. And then it turns and looks at me like, "You see me?" And when it was aware that I saw it, now this is like, it was like larger than this. And when it was aware that I saw it, that's when it stared at me, and I got a sick feeling in my stomach when it was aware that I saw it. And it stared at me for 15 seconds or so, just staring at me. And I felt, and as I looked away immediately. My mind told me, because I've heard stories on the internet, and they say, look away, don't look in their eyes. So the 1 second or half a second I did look in its eyes made me feel weak and slow. It slowed my brain process down. I looked to its left, and I did not look in its eyes. I made sure I'm looking around it and not looking it in the eyes. And don't look them in the eyes. I did not. And these yellow-green eyes just keep staring at me. And I turned my headband light off, and it still got those eyes. Something told me to turn the light off like I don't even see it. Just pay no attention. It might take it as a threat. So I acted as though I would pay no attention to it. And when I stopped paying attention, and Red was behind me, the dog. He was actually on the other side of the truck. And it then turned around and maneuvered in a very strange way. Actually limping about like the middle image you see right here in the middle of your screen. Limping about like one of those things would. Just kind of gliding sideways, just maneuvering just like Sasquatches / skinwalkers / all these creatures would maneuver. They were down in our yard, and then it took off that way. And the best description, size, is this right here, fits the best description. That right there fits the best description. This thing was huge. Of course, this right here talks about werewolves. That is the fuzziness of it. That's how furry it was. That is the best description. That right there is, that drawing is, if you've ever seen the Timberwolf video on YouTube, where this guy witnesses a large, giant timber wolf, that's how large this thing was. And I feel fortunate to have walked back to the house. Of course, Mama had told me not to go out there, be out there, but it's like, and I stated everything in the name of the Lord. I stated what I usually always state before all this happened. And because I had shined my spotlight all around that I had plugged to the truck, because my other spotlight that's charged up disappeared. Go figure. And I had the truck running. So this thing stares at me, and it turns, does a strange maneuver, kind of running sideways, just on all fours, moving sideways. It acted as though it was going to get up on 2 feet, but then it seen me. It was like, it's like it was maneuvering about its business until it's like, wait a minute, how do you see me? And it was going to do something by looking me in the eyes, but I decided not to look it directly in the eyes, and it realized it wasn't going to control me, I guess. I don't know, that's the feeling I got. And then it decided to just run off to the left, and it went right through the person next door's fence. It hopped right through that fence. I'm talking right through a barbed wire fence. Not like maneuvering through the hole of a fence. No, this thing just glided, just hopped right through a barbed wire fence. And the ground is very crunchy right now. This thing was light on its feet. So it made no noise as it was running. They only make noise when they want to. That's the only time they make noise, is when they want to make noise. These things are all related activity. Sasquatch, Skinwalker, the cryptids, interdimensional beings, all these things that they're related. They are all interconnected. And it glided through that fence like it was nothing. Made no noises. When you walk around out there, you'll hear crunching of leaves. But this thing, it's almost like it appeared just through. It's like it just teleported through from somewhere else and was trying to figure out where it was at. That's the feeling I got. That's it. That's the look that it had. Like it had just teleported through at the pines and was trying to figure its surroundings, and I happened to be there to see it. And then it got a full awareness of its surroundings, and then jumped through the fence, and then hid behind the fence and looked at me. And then I made like a sound like that. Like, I don't know, it was just some kind of an instinct. I made this sound. And that's when it looked away, began to try to run up the hill, but just jumped through, it's almost like it jumped through an invisible portal, because it just completely vanished right there on spot. And that's tonight's experience. I'll probably upload the rest of the videos that I recorded throughout the night later. Peace. Much love. Signing out. If you'd like to show your support, the link's below for that, as well as the email. It has been a crazy night. It's been a very, very crazy night. Peace. Signing out.